Welcome to the Small Business Development Center. The Alaska SBDC has been operating since 1986 and has offices throughout the state of Alaska that serve for-profit small businesses. The way the structure works is we receive a federal grant from the Small Business Administration, along with a grant from the state of Alaska. We are also part of the Business Enterprise Institute through the University of Alaska, and we are employees of the university in Anchorage. The Alaska SBDC provides three primary services to small business owners: free, confidential, one-on-one business advising, small business workshops, and small business tools and referrals. To learn more about us or to register to become a client, please visit our website at www.aksbdc.org. I'm Stacy Stegar, Industry Specialist here at the Alaska Small Business Development Center, and I'm pleased to review this informative guide with you on opening a brewery in Alaska, what you need to know about licensing, permitting, and operations. Before you get started, you're going to want to do some research, and we have lots of tools available for you. Please note that the words in green underlined are links to the actual documents. The first thing you'll want to check out is the Small Business Development Center's Starting a Business workshop. Then ask yourself the 20 questions. You will also want to know if you will be leasing space, buying an existing space, or building space. Finding your location is a very important part of the licensing process for breweries. You'll want to research the costs, and the Alaska Small Business Development Center has tools to help you create financial projections and get started with basic bookkeeping. After you're done with this, you're pretty much ready to proceed. If you plan to manufacture and barrel or bottle beer for sale to the public, you'll need a brewery license. A brewery license permits the licensee to manufacture beer to barrel or bottle for sale. You can sell up to 5 gallons of beer a day to any one individual on the premises for consumption off the premises. It allows consumers to sample small quantities of beer on the premises free of charge, and you can sell up to 36 ounces a day to any one individual for consumption on your premises. A brewery in Alaska may not allow live entertainment, televisions, pool tables, dart games, dancing, electronic or other games, game tables, or other recreational or gaming opportunities on the premises. You cannot provide seats at the counter or bar where the product is being served. You can't open before 9 a.m., and serving of the product ends no later than 8 p.m. Also, it is important to understand and abide by state law to avoid fines or delays in opening your new business. To read the statutes in their entirety, visit the state's website by clicking here. Finding a premises is a top priority. Whether you plan to lease or buy a building, it's important to identify a location for your brewery early on. You'll need to post public notice on the premises 60 days prior to applying for your license for 10 days. Unsure whether leasing or buying is right for you? Contact an SBDC business advisor for guidance. Once you have identified your location, you can begin planning a layout for your business and begin sourcing furnishings, supplies, and equipment for brewing, storing, packaging, and selling your beer. To run a brewery, you must have a brewery license from the State of Alaska Alcoholic Beverage Control Board. a business license from the state of Alaska. And here's a guide on a workshop for getting a business license in Alaska and for choosing your NAICS code. You may also need a borough, municipality, or city business license. You'll want to decide if your brewery will be in the city limits. Per Alaska statute, a municipality may adopt ordinances governing the importation, barter, sale, and consumption of alcoholic beverages within the municipality. Therefore, it is imperative to check with your local government to see if there are any additional permits or licenses required to operate your brewery. If your brewery is going to be located in the municipality of Anchorage, selling directly to consumers, then you will be subject to a plan review and permitting through the Department of Health, Food, and Safety. For questions, contact Development Services at the number listed below. You'll also have to get a State of Alaska license. To do that, you'll need to submit an application, submit fingerprints from an approved agency with a processing fee for the card, pay the new application fee, and pay for your biennial license. There's information below on new and transfer license fees. Your application will need to include a new license or transfer license application, a premises diagram, public notice posting affidavit, authorization of records release, statement of financial interest, and a creditor's affidavit for a transfer license only. The new license application includes an establishment and contact information, premises information, ownership information, other licenses, authorization of parties to discuss the application with the ABC, and certifications. There is a link below to the new licensing process. The premises diagram includes establishment information, detailed premises diagram, which clearly indicates the boundaries of the premises, clearly indicates the interior layout of any enclosed areas on the proposed premises, clearly identifies all entrances and exits, walls, bars, and fixtures, and outline in red the perimeter of the areas designated for alcohol storage, service, consumption, and manufacturing. Also, it includes dimensions, cross streets, and points of reference. You may attach blueprints or other detailed drawings that meet the requirements of the form. For the public notice posting affidavit, an applicant must give notice of a liquor license application to the public by posting a copy of the application for 10 days at the location of the proposed license premises and one other conspicuous location in the area of the proposed premises. The public notice must be given within the 60 days immediately preceding filing of the application. You must submit the public notice posting affidavit to certify that you have complied. In addition to posting notice, new applicants are required to advertise intention to gain a liquor license either in a print publication or on the radio. Please see the application instructions and visit the ABC's website under New License Forms Advertising Format. Each licensee and affidavit who is required to be listed on the application for a liquor license must provide written authorization for release of conviction and arrest records. And we have the form listed below. You'll also have to have a statement of financial interest. It is required for all liquor license applications. A person other than a licensee may not have a direct or indirect financial interest in the business for which a liquor license is issued. There's a creditor's affidavit, and this form must be completed by the transferor of a liquor license in order to report all debts of and taxes owed by the business. The Alcoholic Beverage Control Board will deny an application for transfer of a license to another person if the board finds that the transferor has not paid all debts or taxes arising from the conduct of the licensed business, unless the transferor gives security for the payment of the debts or taxes satisfactory to the creditor or taxing authority. Applying for any kind of liquor license is one of the more complicated processes required by the state. Please review the application and instructions checklist provided by the state to ensure that your application is in order and ready to submit to avoid a delay in opening your brewery. Prior to opening, establish a relationship with various vendors in order to purchase the supplies and equipment you're going to need. Become familiar with the ordering, pickup or delivery, and payment processes for those vendors. Brewing supply vendors in Alaska include Arctic Brewing Supply, which is in Anchorage. You will need to purchase insurance for your business. There are many different kinds of coverage for different kinds of businesses, but at the very minimum, you should ask your provider about a liability policy. A liability policy is affordable. It protects the business from customer slips and falls, burglary and theft, and other general business risks. Make sure you ask your insurance provider about additional coverage that protects your tools of the trade, protects business and personal property, and some general liability plans include this coverage, but some don't. So it's important to know exactly what you're getting to ensure the proper coverage. In addition to business insurance, if you have employees, you need to carry workers' compensation insurance. Business owners with no employees are usually exempt from workers' compensation. However, some contractors will still require owners to carry coverage. Workers' compensation covers employees' medical expenses in the event that they are injured on the job. It can replace lost wages, and it may provide death benefits. Limits the probability of an employee lawsuit, protects your business from lawsuits, and it's required by the state. You will also need to apply for an employer identification number with the IRS. If you're a sole proprietor without employees, your Social Security number can be used instead of an EIN, and you can skip this step. Your EIN will act as a business ID. It's also known as the Federal Tax ID or Tax ID number, TIN, and you will need it to open business bank accounts, hire employees, and for your tax reporting. The link to the EIN application is listed below. For operational setup, you'll want to arrange for financing if you need it. And we have SBA loans and what the lender requires workshops. And you can always talk to an SBDC advisor for more information and guidance. But you definitely will want to set up a business bank account and consider applying for a business credit card. You may wish to hire a bookkeeper or accountant if you don't want to fulfill those roles yourself, or purchase bookkeeping software such as QuickBooks. The Alaska SBDC offers a basic bookkeeping for entrepreneurs workshop to get you started. Staffing your brewery is an important step that deserves careful consideration. The minimum age of sellers and servers of alcoholic beverages in the state is 21. The Alaska SBDC has created the following checklist to aid in hiring your first employee. Some typical roles you may look to fill at your brewery are general manager, head brewer, assistant brewer, brewery representative, and server/beer pourer. For more information, see Truex Microbrewery Hiring Guide. While researching whether or not you were going to pursue opening a brewery, you were asked to think about your niche. who's your customer, and what makes your services unique. See the Alaska SBDC Developing a Marketing Strategy workshop. Your niche market can be used to identify and develop your brand. Branding should begin before opening your brewery and taken into consideration when picking out design, decor, and fixtures for your business to create a cohesive image. Consider hiring a professional to develop your logo and branding kit for online uses. Hire a branding specialist locally, or if that's not available or feasible, check out sites like Fiverr or Design Crowd. Once your logo and brand kit is complete and before opening, make a Facebook and Instagram account and start posting. If social media is not your thing, consider hiring a professional to manage your social media marketing. Ask your business advisor for a referral list to find a qualified provider. Build a website. This can be hired out too if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself. Order business cards and/or appointment cards, and order wrap cards with a list of services and pricing. So you've done all the research and you still have some questions? The Alaska SBDC provides resources, workshops, and no-cost business advice. Assistance is provided by experienced business advisors and experts through on-site and/or online interactions or training, and all at no cost to you. You can register below to work with an advisor. The final page is additional resources and has links to other items that may be useful in your pursuit for opening a brewery.